Throwing on first down. Herrera. Open man is Switzer, complete. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Second and 9 now. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
I got you. I got you. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch. Spawn. No.
From the gun, Herrera. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Let's go now. Ricky. Watch the ship.
On first down, Herrera. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Set. 10-2 saw. Pilot, 64. Go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stidham. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Stidham. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Shift. 36.
To throw again, Herrera. Rolling to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
To throw on third down. Herrera. He sets to fire deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Kerryon Johnson, 75 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bullock good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Check 15, check 15.
On first and 10, Herrera. Washington's got it. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Looking to throw. Herrera. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. Second and 10. He'll buy some time right.
Set. 230.
57, come on. It's our deal. It's our deal.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 13-yard line. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And this defense looking like they have come to play. The pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills?
Oh,
pass. Ball ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And now here's Switzer, the target, and he's got it. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So first and 10 now from the 30. On first and 10 is Connor. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 36-yard line.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense just gets gang up on the rim.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call, because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Yes. 80 weapon.
On 3rd down, Stidham. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 4. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He'll try and run for it with counter. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the run. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Kill. Hey, turn it out,
They'll try and throw for it here. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position.
Gator. Get it.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go now. 70, Indy.
55 to Mike. Bound to lose one.
General fire.
Stidham. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Safe. Slam. Under 10. 10. Zip it.
Throwing on first down. Herrera. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Throwing on 3rd and long. Herrera. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Go! 30 base.
Second down, Stidham to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. John Ross, the one he was looking for. Third down here.
Brings up a third down.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Stidham, third down from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Switzer. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot before break. Herrera. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's third down.
90, Wolf.
6-man. Check curls, check curls.
5. Ready?
Third and long. It's Stidham. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Credit the tackle to Darius Phillips. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Herrera. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Roethlisberger. Moncrief brings it in. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it first and 10. From the gun, Herrera. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Carl Lawson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Herrera. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throwing on third and long. Herrera going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. William Jackson with a pick. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. On second down, here's Stidham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Going up top. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Go. Go. Shit. Watch the shit.
22, jet, cover. 22, jet, cover. Undercut, undercut. Go, go. I got it.
Right back to Cotter here on first. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Looking to throw. Herrera. Being chased out left. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. 11 yards there, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 2. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Intercepted. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A quick throw now complete to Ross. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross. 81 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
And 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Escaping the pressure right. And McDonald here over the middle. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Roethlisberger on the crossing route, complete. It's McDonald. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Bengals grab it. He's at the 30. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that will bump the lead up to 26. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I were down there. We could hear them. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Sean Williams. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
No chance.
After the interception, here's Stidham. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
2nd and 1. Buying time to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open, so it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
On the ground with a tight end. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
2nd and 11. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken near the 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Back to throw. Herrera. And my goodness, another interception. William Jackson with a pick. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Connor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Now Connor. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, partner, I must say,